The Malambani community and others in and around the Soutpansberg have experienced historical dispossession of their ancestral lands and political oppression under colonial administration, including apartheid. When I met Shuela, she shared a story with me. It was the first time I met her. She said to me, I'm not going to allow the Musina Makaro Special Economic Zone to go ahead. I was born in Malumbani, I was raised in Malumbani, and I schooled, I learned, I became a woman, I got married in that area until we were forcefully removed from our ancestral land. And she further says, there's Zwifo, there's Mupo, that belongs to the Malombani people. And I'm not going to leave and ignore that my being, my person, it's that area of Malombani. And she says, this is why I fight the Musina Makaru Special Economic Zone. This Special Economic Zone is a project with the Chinese investments and the Limpopo government backing. This project is expected to be on 8,000 hectares of land of the Malambani people. It will comprise of mining, metallurgical mining, and coal-fired power station. But this is not boon for the people. This project, should it go ahead, it threatens to disrupt intergenerational identities, the psychological well-being of the Malambani people by further endangering specific knowledge, their customary practices, ways of being in the world, and relations as a community in their ancestral land and within their sacred sites, Zwifo. In this area, there's Mupo, Zomo la Mupo, that is the voice of nature. There is a defender of the sacred sites, and her name is Mpateleni Makaulele. Mpateleni has gathered people around the area of Malambani and those living around the Soutpansberg mountain to come together to have intergenerational conversations where the elders share stories of life at their place of birth, Mulambani, at the foot of the Soutpansberg mountains. The elders reminiscing of how life was, and the youth drinking from the well of wisdom carved from centuries at the foot of the Soutpansberg mountain. It is through these conversations that the future is imagined. Imagining how the future holds for them, and also imagining what is that they can do to shape the future that they want, how they can go back and live in harmony in the embodiment of their culture and traditions that are intertwined to their environment surrounding them. This mapping the intergenerational conversations led by the keeper of sacred sites, Mampateleni Makaulele, it's a process that has created rich and vibrant maps that tell a multitude of stories of the past and present. It also shows that environmental impact assessments as conducted by developers can and should be in order for one to really understand the depth and breadth of the impacts and the risks that the projects like Musina Makado Special Economic Zone can have on the people and the planet. Should this Special Economic Zone go ahead, the carbon budget of South Africa would be increased. That would be from the destruction of the rich biodiversity in that place. That project threatens to destroy people's sacred sites that are linked to their spirituality. That project would uproot trees that are embedded in people's lives, cultures, and traditions. The uprooting of the baobab, the morula, and the mopani trees that are embedded in people's cultures and traditions would mean that people would lose their dignity. Should the project go ahead, that is the area in which the project is identified to be at, the winter basket, the winter food basket of South Africa will also be destroyed. Water is scarce in the southern African region of southern Africa. That means the most precious commodity will be diverted away from people to water guzzling industries. That is, water would be taken away from the people, and the water is connected to people's sacred sites. This is the struggle of people protecting their immediate surrounds, and these are the struggles that does not tick boxes of branded international campaigns. These are somehow very abstract struggles in a way, because these are the struggles that people all over the world in all the corners are fighting. And these struggles are not making any headlines, whether on television, whether on newspapers, but these are the struggles that our people fight on an everyday basis. There are stories like this all over the world, in places that generations have lived and cared for generations, and now these places are facing extinction. And we always talk about solidarity, that we are in solidarity with people that are protecting their environment. We are in solidarity with people that are facing extinction. But what does that solidarity mean? I think in the sense of philanthropy, it should be solidarity, unconditional support of the people, checking what the people want, and supporting bottom-up approaches. If people are saying, we see this monster, this mega toxic special economic zone that is being proposed in our area, but we think our struggles are around protecting our spirituality that is connected to the area. Our struggle is protecting our sacred sites connected to the area. Support and solidarity should not come in a form of a package campaign that people should follow, that we can only give you money if you talk about particular issues, if you don't mention particular issues. And this is what people are experiencing. But however, I think what is important in solidarity, it's supporting the community belief system and also what the community would want to do. For me, solidarity and supporting the struggles, it's also about protecting the belief systems and securing our children's future. Support of this work, it's not just about funding, it's solidarity in action. It's a real solidarity in action. And that being solidarity in action, it also further emphasizes and entrenches the idea of dignity that it now extends to all forms of lives. That is the rights of nature. The rights of nature, it's about rivers, it's about mountains, it's about hills. It's also about our spirituality, what connects us to the earth. Thank you.
Thank you, Makoma. What a wonderful story to end on. That has got me thinking a lot about solidarity and the way that we work in this space and philanthropy. And I'm thinking now that another way to talk about trust-based philanthropy is solidarity philanthropy. In trust-based philanthropy, it's about relationships, it's about trust, it's about connection. It's so much more than just funding. And I think solidarity is such a great word to summarize the ethos of trust-based philanthropy.